And then I said, like, what if you gave him like 2 palm strikes to his nose? And I kind of referenced the history of violence scene with Viggo Mortensen. Mortensen was like, I remember that. I was like, oh, and the guy's like nose goes jammed up to his brain. I'm like, that could be so shocking. And then I come and break your neck. And they were like, you're fucked up, dude. Like, hey, come on. And so it was, what was fun was.
That's so good.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you? My name's Shahbaz.
Great to meet you.
I'm Daniel.
Hey, great to meet you guys.
Shahbaz, yeah.
Great name.
Thank you so much. It's almost as good as Seann.
Sean's fucking boring. Get rid of my name. My mom was gonna name me, but they were gonna name me Sunshine if I was born.
Interesting.
Not a bad name. You know why?
Not
Sunny.
It is. Yeah, Sunny's a cool name. Very Godfather.
Very Godfather. I love that.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time with us today on the Movie Podcast. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you, guys. How about yourselves?
Oh, fantastic. Doing as good. We were so excited to talk to you.
Yeah, we're such huge fans of yours. You've been part of some of our favorite movies and shows, so we're just stoked to be talking with you, Seann.
That's awesome. Well, this has been a great interview.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You take care. Have a great day. You know, your episode of Always Sunny is one of the ones that Daniel and I watch over and over again because there is no one cooler than Country Mac.
Oh man, I love that show. Yeah, I felt really lucky to be a part of it. I remember that Rob sent me that script. I'm like, seriously? I'm like, this is hilarious. Yeah. I felt really honored. I'm like, you want me to do this? This is great.
Yeah, so you dropped jabroni really well.
Jabroni. You know, it's funny. I'm trying to think of one of my favorite moments. It's maybe 2. Either the very end when he just falls over and has the accident and he's dead, or when he jumps from the bridge and in the back and you see it's like little flap and he's just walking casually out of the water with a beer in his hand.
Yeah,
it's the iconic moments.
Where did he get that beer?
You know, Seann, we got to ask, congratulations on The Wrath of Becky. We had such a blast watching it.
Thank you.
We want to know, like, your character Daryl is so menacing in a quiet and disarming type of way, which makes him even scarier, I think, in the film. What was it about the script that really drew you to the project? Yeah,
well, thank you so much for what you said. I think it was just the opportunity, it was an experience that was different than anything I've done because the script was sent to me and I got offered the part and I loved the script. Hadn't seen the first movie, and I liked the opportunity to play something different and darker, but what was written, I just couldn't figure it out. And then I had some ideas for the character that I was really excited about, and I spoke to Suzanne and Matt and shared them, and they were like, they were so great about it. They're like, yes, let's incorporate that in there. And it was really a unique collaboration, especially when you're hiring a guy who's not known for playing these types of roles. So from that moment, it was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks later that I was on set filming. And it was just kind of like, you just are there, you commit to it, you make decisions, you do the best you can. And it was such a great experience. And then I watched the movie, I'm like, holy shit, the movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is so great. This is like a cherry on top. But yeah, it was mainly for me, it was just the opportunity to do something different.
I love that. No, and you're great in it. You really are so unsettling. You're a type of character that you never know which direction he's going to go. And I think that's what's so fun watching your performance in it, is that you're just quiet. Like when somebody's quiet and they're thinking, you're like, it's so scary. And I think that's what's really cool about it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, we were trying to predict your next move, and we're like, oh, he's gonna pop out here, he's gonna do this, and then you ended up doing something completely different that surprised us even more. And we were like, man, this is something, like you just said, a role that we don't normally see you in. So I gotta ask, what was that preparation like? What was your mindset kind of going into this character?
I think the big thing for me was just trying to make him feel like a real person, because just being a film fan myself, it's easy. You watch so many things and it's easy to start being critical of performances and especially with, villain type of characters. And I think that was what I was most mindful of, is trying to be like, this has to feel like a real, as much as possible for the limited time that you see him, he has to feel like grounded in like a real person and a real threat. And I think that his military background was what I kind of zeroed in on. It was like that really informed kind of how he responded and what he was thinking and what he was doing. You know, that's what I remember. It was a year ago. Otherwise, I forgot everything else.
Yeah, you were locked into that character pretty much, and then it wrapped, and you're like, okay, now I'm back to being Seann.
Yeah,
Sunshine.
back to sunshine, not killing people.
Yeah. And John, you mentioned like this all came together pretty fast, and you guys shot this in secret in like 18 days. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I mean, even for me, it was less than that, you know, because I was only shot the stuff that took place in that cabin.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, when you hear like artists talk about, actors talk about like, oh, this small film is so fun, you know, it was like, you know, you really had each other's backs and it felt special. You felt like a little family. And that's what this was. It was like, we were all in this like cool kind of cabin house, get to make a movie. And really it was that Suzanne and Matt, the directors, writers, set the tone. They were just so dynamic and so collaborative and cool and competent that it was like, it just was a great experience. And I've said this where I'm like, I kind of didn't give a shit what happened with the movie. If it ended up being really good, great. But personally, creatively, it was so fulfilling. And then I saw the movie, I was like, holy shit. It's so good. I had no idea. But yeah, it's one of those cool small movies. You're in the middle of nowhere and just having fun and, you know, just really exciting crew. And there's lots of blood and, you know, lots of different effects, things not working out and people trying to like, you know, problem solve. Kind of like what you think of, you know, movie making would be, especially in the smaller types of movies where it was pretty awesome.
That's wicked. And I mean, you can tell, like you're saying, you know, this whole family relationship that you kind of built, because your chemistry with Lulu Wilson is amazing. I mean, the time that you share on screen with her, you can tell that both, you know, Daryl and Becky have just this mutual respect for each other. What was it like kind of working with her on that?
Well, she's amazing. I mean, there are sometimes if we would do a scene and I would totally be out of character just watching her. I'm like, she's awesome. You know? But that was actually like one of the ideas that I had for Daryl was like, I like the fact that this guy would have a real respect for, you know, this is a former soldier and he's still a soldier. Like, you know, to see this 16-year-old girl far more capable than the guys he has around him. I feel like he has more respect for her than he does for these other guys.
Absolutely.
I think also is kind of what's interesting about the character is like, these guys are saying these outlandish things and they're being really inappropriate. And he never joins in. He always is kind of as observing, you know, and, but then all of a sudden you have this 16-year-old girl who's just like really impressive. So I'm glad that it came across because that's kind of what I wanted. I liked that idea while still having lines when he's like, you know, I wish I had more time. I'd love to play with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, no, but you played it off really well. Like it never kind of went to creepy, which is what I think we really enjoyed about this character. But I feel like there's like an actor's wish list to beat up their director, and you got that chance in this movie to really
beat up their director.
To really give it to Matt in this movie, Matt Angel. Yeah. How much fun was that moment? Just kind of just pummeling him there.
Well, you know what was fun about it was that was one of my ideas.
So it is on your wish list.
Yeah, my wish list. But no, it was like that's what's so one of the many, many wonderful things about Matt and Suze is that, you know, they weren't like, dude, we don't need your ideas. We like what's in our script. But I said to them, it was originally written where I strangle his character and it was with like a belt or something, or I don't know what it was, but I was immediately like, doesn't feel visceral enough. It doesn't. And then I said, like, what if you gave him like 2 palm strikes to his nose? And I kind of referenced the History of Violence scene with Viggo Mortensen. Yeah. Was like, I remember that. I was like, oh, and the guy's like nose goes jammed up to his brain. I'm like, that could be so shocking. And then I come and break your neck. and they were like, "You're fucked up, dude." Like, hey, come on. And so what was fun was
That's so good.
to be able to do it, to like film the scene that we had talked about only like 3 weeks or 4 weeks before, and see it come together. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing. It's like, it's like you're almost like kids making a movie.
Yeah.
Talking about it, like, it's gonna be good. Let's hope for the best. And then you watch them like, holy shit, it worked.
Yeah. No, but I think it's such a great payoff, that moment, right? Because like the whole time in this film, you're very just calm, cool, and collective. So to have that outburst of violence, it really is a history of violence where where like Viggo's character finally unleashes who he is. You're just like, holy shit, like he went there, and it's a great moment.
That's awesome. Thank you. And especially after he's the one who shared, this story with, that like, if you cross me, or if you become a liability, what happened, back in Iraq, so to all of a sudden to see that moment out of nowhere, I think it was great. And again, it just sets things up for even more kind of like mayhem. So it's just glad it worked out, because you never know. You can have an idea, and then all of a sudden you see it in a movie, and you're like, oh, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. No, it worked well. And we don't want to take up too much of your time today. We're having a blast talking with you, but we do want to ask you though, we got to talk to Jay Baruchel a couple weeks ago. We'd love to see, Doug Latt come back in a Goon 3. Is there any talks of that, any potential of that coming up down the road?
What did he say?
We actually didn't get to talk to him about it because our time ran out. So now we get to hopefully ask you.
Oh, 100% want that. Like, I literally texted him about a month ago, and I think we were both getting busy with these movies. And I was like, listen, I can't stop thinking about this character. And, because he had an idea a while back. He had a couple ideas. They were both great. And I was like, and one required some time to go by. And I was like, I think enough time's gone by. Like, what do you think? And he was like, I would love to. I was like, really? Let's do it. So we're literally, we haven't connected since then because things got a little bit busy. But I mean, he's just, Jay, he's just an insanely talented guy. Great. One of the best human beings that I know. But he's just so talented, is like the idea that, or the thought that he would maybe put something together again.
Yeah.
Maybe get the Highlanders back.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but like, I think if it's the right story, that would be the only way that Jay would do it. It would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Or even seeing, if you ended up in the director's chair, is that something that you would ever consider doing? Or even with another project, are you looking at directing as well?
I used to think about it, and then I actually, when I remember when I was working with Jay, and I was like, oh, I can't do what he does. I remember I was like, Jay's so good. And, I was like, I'm good. Like I kind of was like, I know my limitations. I got to do better behind or in front of the camera, because I can't do what they can do. So no, I kind of give up that idea.
Jay is absolutely phenomenal, and obviously he's in the movie with your other co-host Glenn from obviously Always Sunny.
Oh, right, Blackberry, yeah.
Definitely got to go check that out if you haven't already. It's fantastic. But Seann, thank you so much for your time today. We love this movie. We absolutely love this conversation. You were such a blast to talk to, and we can't wait for everyone to see this movie.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys. It was great talking to you as well. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Hope we get to talk to you again next time you're in Toronto. Hopefully we'll get to talk.
I'm going to be there in mid-July.
Okay.
I'm shooting the movie there. So I'll make sure you guys get my information, and when I'm out there, we should hang out.
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely.
We're down.
To.
Great. I look forward to it. I'll see you soon.
Thanks,
Seann. Take care.
Take care.
Hey, guys.